Good morning. We're here live at the 2017 AICPA Women's Global Leadership Summit. I'm Lindsay Stevenson, and I'm here with Shari Harley, who is going to do a session today for us that we're really excited about, all about professional reputation and professional branding. So, Shari, can you tell us a little bit about what you want to talk about today with all the women that are here?
So, mainly, people will talk about you, not to you. And if you don't already know that, you live in a cave. So they're talking about you right now, right? So people are afraid of our reactions for the most part, and I think accounting, this is especially professional services, this is a thing. No one really wants to tell you, hey, you didn't really do a great job on that. But they'll tell everybody else, which doesn't give you any control to manage your career. So today's session is really about how do I find out what people say when I'm not there, and then how do I respond in the moment so I get more data next time, and what do I do with that information? It's really about career control.
That's awesome. So for some of the viewers today that don't get to participate in your session, what are some of the most important things that we can do when we're trying to figure out what someone is saying, other than just blatantly asking, what did you say about me?
Well, first thing I'm going to do with the group who's here live is really help them identify who's actually really important. So we all work with lots of people, and this is going to sound really unfriendly, but not everyone's as important to our career as everybody else. And I don't think it's always obvious kind of who really impacts you, right? So let's say I want to work in assurance, right? So I'm a tax person. I want to move over to audit. And I don't really know anybody in audit. So I go to the managing partner and I say, I really want to work in audit. And the managing partner doesn't know me. So managing partner goes to someone in tax who I don't even know knows me. And the person in tax says, Shari Harley, she's okay. Like she could be a little flaky and a little high maintenance, but she's okay. Now, am I getting that job?
Probably not.
No. Now, I don't even know that the assurance person knows the tax person who knows me. So really, it's like, well, who's really important to us? Because it's not always so obvious. Political, it's kind of an unpopular thing to say, but that's the first thing we're going to do.
Okay.
And then the next thing we're going to do is, well, if I want more data, who do I ask and how do I ask? Because there is a way to ask, and then there's a way to respond. And the way to respond, here's like the best tip I got for you. No matter what someone says to you, the right answer is thank you. Thank you. Thank you for telling me. Now, in your head, you're like, I'm going to take you down and put a pen in your eye. But you don't actually say that. You just go like this. You go, thank you. And then you call your friend. Can you believe what this idiot said to me? Right? And then when you're calm, you come back and you talk more. But how we respond, especially as women, really, really matters. And most people don't respond well.
I think that's totally true. I think most of us can honestly say saying thank you to someone, whether it's a compliment or constructive feedback, is probably the hardest two words. But we'll say I'm sorry every time. Every time. So I love that you're sort of building on that idea of thank you.
Thank you.
And that's enough. You don't need to keep talking about it. So what else in terms of a professional reputation? You're talking about what people are saying to you or about you to other people. What other things kind of come into play when it's not just what they say when you're out of the room, it's how they say it maybe, and sort of what can you do to influence that without blatantly saying, I want you to promote me?
Yeah. So the next thing I'll teach today's group is don't wait for things to happen. So like you guys are going into busy season. It's predictable what's going to happen. Like the clients, you're going to staff an audit job, you're going to send 8 people to their location and they're not going to be ready. Then you're going to have 8 people sitting around with nothing to do. That's predictable because it happened last year and the year before. So, and the same thing for your teams. The people who come in late and who are kind of slacking and who do same as last year. Like you already know how it's going to go, but most of us, we wait. Right? Well, we'll just see. People are smart and they went to a good school and everyone wants to do a good job. So we'll just assume it's all going to go well. It's not, right? So I'm going to actually give the group the language today, and I'll give it here, is I suggest you sit down with the people you're going to work with and say, listen, we're going to work together this season. It's going to be busy. There are going to be breakdowns. Let's talk about in advance what our expectations are of each other, how we're going to work together, how we're going to communicate, and how we're going to deal with breakdowns. And I think we should have those same conversations with our clients. You already know your clients aren't reading your engagement letters, right? And then they get a bill for something that wasn't what they expected, and they go, I don't want to pay this. Well, that's predictable. So you say to your clients, here are all the things that are going to make your audit go smoothly and on track. And here are all the things that are going to make it go long and have your bill be higher. Let's talk about that before the work begins. I don't think we're doing a great job of that.
I think that's probably true. And for our people that are in business and industry that are watching, what does that look like in terms of they work with the same people for like ever? So how do they have those conversations when it's not like a rotating team, or it's not, you know, where it's sort of built up over years and years? How do you broach the subject when you've never done it before?
Yeah, it's never too late as long as both people are still breathing.
Okay.
So you say, you know, this is the 8th year we've worked together, and I know it seems a little odd now that I'm bringing this up, but you know, I'm realizing that we deal with the same breakdowns every year. I thought it'd be really great, even though I'm not the team leader, I'm not the manager, right? I'm just a senior, not just, but I don't have any authority here. I thought it'd be really great if we sat down and talked about how we want to work together this year and just get in front of it, even though we know each other pretty well.
That's great. That's great advice. So, as sort of a last thought, if you're pulling everything together and saying, how do you prepare, right? If you don't know what someone's going to say, it's scary. It's scary to go in and expose yourself and say, okay, this is how I'm going to put this together. First, I'm going to find out what people are saying, and then I'm going to find out how to respond with thank you and process that. So what's the global, like the outcome? Where are we trying to get? What does that look like? What do you want people to be saying about you?
God, that's an interesting question. I think it's really going to depend on the person.
Okay.
We want people saying the things about us that are important to us, right? And that's different for every person. I will say with feedback, don't ask if you're not having a good day, right? Like, you're not the 7-Eleven. You need to be open to feedback, but not all the time. So if it's a bad day and you're feeling tired, or your kids are sick, or your in-laws are in town for too long, or you had a fender bender, or your cat died, that's not a good day.
Okay.
So only ask when you're ready. Put time on someone's calendar. I don't think most of us do this well. So I think if you walk into a partner's office or a manager's office, you say, I'm really looking for feedback on blank. They're not thinking about you that day. They're thinking about their work. So I would put time on the calendar, tell them what you want to talk about, give them time to observe you doing those things, and then schedule a time to discuss. And if it's not a good day, then you just say, you know, something, this is not the right time.
Okay.
And reschedule.
Okay.
And as far as what you want people to say about you, I think you have to determine that. You know, what's important to you? Is it that you're detail-oriented or committed or professional? I think that depends on me.
Okay.
And whether or not I'm in the right place career-wise.
That's awesome. So I think for those of you out there listening to this, I think it's really important for you to say, what is my professional brand, right? What's my message? And make sure that that's what people are saying about you, that it's consistent, right? We talk about this consistency with values and culture in an organization, but it's true on the individual level. And so that's crazy. I love it. I love it. So hopefully you guys are going to stick around. If you're an attendant at the conference, Shari will be on in a few short hours, and so hopefully you can log in and check her out. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.